Hey there, knowledge seekers. And one of the great things we have over in the Biz Growth Initiative are all the book summaries. And one of the book summaries that we get in our partnership with Read It For Me was the book, The Daily Stoic. I love many of the book summaries over there, and I love many of the books that they come from. One of the great things is if I'm not sure what book to read, well, I listen to the summary first and then realize if I want it or not. Now, one of the ones I consistently find over there on Read It For Me are the books by Ryan Holiday, particularly this one, The Daily Stoic. There's a great summary, but after I was like, I need this whole book. So I went and bought the book, and I love it. It's a great way to, in 12 minutes, decide if you want to go invest time in a whole book or not. And in this case, I absolutely did. Now, as I was reading it the other week, I came across this one page that I really wanted to share with you. I think it has a lot to do with where we put the importance on growth and how we approach it, particularly our own intention to our business on where we grow it, not just the time we put into the business, but in learning and growing for the business. So I want to read this to you. It's called Who Gets the Lion's Share? Aren't you ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnants of your life, and to dedicate to wisdom only that time can't be directed to business? That's from Seneca on the brevity of life. Now, also below the quotes, the authors of this book give a description. I really love this. I wanted to share this part as well in this book. In one of his letters, Seneca tells a story about Alexander the Great. Apparently, as Alexander was conquering the world, certain countries would offer him pieces of their territory in hopes that he'd leave them alone in exchange. Alexander would tell them, writes Seneca, that he hadn't come all the way to Asia to accept whatever they would give him, but instead, they were going to have to accept whatever he chose to leave them. According to Seneca, we should treat philosophy the same way in our lives. Philosophy shouldn't have to accept what time or energy is left over from other occupations, but instead we should graciously make time for those other pursuits only once our study is finished. If real self-improvement is what we're after, why do we leave our reading until those few minutes before we shut off the lights and go to bed? Why do we block off 8 to 10 hours in the middle of the day to be at the office or to go to meetings, but block out no time for thinking about the big questions? The average person somehow manages to squeeze in 28 hours of television per week, but ask them if they had time to study philosophy, and they will probably tell you they're too busy. So there you have it. One of the beautiful things I love to do with these summaries is actually start my day with them. It's part of the program I do over in Unshakeable Foundation Program, but a big part is starting my morning with 20 minutes of perspiration, 20 minutes of meditation, then 20 minutes of education. And in that 20 minutes, what better way than to use a summary and get through an entire book within my 20 minutes. So if you've not, head over to www.bizgrowthinitiative.com and check out either the free for 3 books, or jump in the middle tier and get access to what's in the book library, anytime access, or join us in our action collabs where we create action steps around the book summaries. But that's not the point. The point is I wanted to read to you a little bit of the Daily Stoic. This is an amazing book. If you even dug that quote, I highly recommend you go and order the book. I don't have a link, no affiliate, just go get it. Go find it, go to your local bookstore if you can, and get the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. It's a book I love. All right, with that, be well. Just wanted to share that little bit of tidbit of inspiration I had for me that I take with me always when I think, well, should I be spending my time on something before this, something of greater value?